then you know that we are radiouta.com, and broadcasting also from Canada, from Broken Neck Radio. And today I was just watching your video, and it was really, really incredible. I'm really happy. And the music was brutal. It was really, really good. Well, the newest single. But first of all, can you tell us the name of your band and where you're from? Because, well, you're not from America. Okay, so, well, basically, right?
So, my name is Serene, and the band we're in is called CRYOSPHERE.
Yeah, and my name is Anders. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we're from Denmark. And at this point, we are only the two members, Anders and me, in the band. Yeah, and that's kind of it. We have the new single that just was released last Friday. And we're super excited about it because it's actually the first single that Anders and I have done completely on our own. So yeah, it's very heavy, and we're very happy that people are responding so well to it.
Yeah, because basically, okay, so, well, the video that it has like a lot of images. It's like it has like a cartoon. And can you tell us something, because it is a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a story about. The song has its own story, but there's a more broad subject. Let's say it's about relationships and how two people or two entities have a common goal but different ways of achieving it, right? So there's a lot of ways for the true north to like get your goal and stuff like that. But the video in itself are with two characters portrayed as the Greek, a siren called the Calliope, and Antaeus is a character that was very, very strong and was a wrestler back in old Greek mythology, and his only weakness was if he was not connected to the ground. So he was very, very strong if connected to the ground. And that symbolizes me in a bit, that if I'm grounded on, then I'm very strong in decision making and stuff like that. But if I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone, I'm not that strong. Where the other part is the Sirena Calliope, that is more towards how maybe the picture of our relationship between Sirena and I have been, where she's trying to put me out of my comfort zone to make me grow as well, right? In my own, let's say, skill set of being a human. And the same way, Antaeus is trying to show that there's nothing wrong with also being grounded in your own work and staying true to yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of more like kind of a being that lives up in the air and then inside my head. And sometimes I get ideas that is like crazy. And when I call Anders, he just talks me down, or we get to some kind of compromise in the middle that actually makes sense, because some of my ideas are like way out of what is realistic. So in that sense, we balance each other out pretty well. And the song is just about a time where we actually had a disagreement. And the video is kind of portraying some of those feelings that we had towards each other, and the symbols that show our strength and our weaknesses, just in this mythical world that is kind of in my head. So.
And that is excellent, because, for example, now that you're telling us that, so, well, only two people are in the band, right? So, well, first of all, because the sound, well, the music that you have is really, really great. So what instruments is each one of you playing?
Okay, so actually we play a little bit of a lot of stuff, but nothing really well. So most of it is done on the computer with plugins for instruments. And then I write everything so that it matches up. And then we talk about it together, and Anders comes with some adjustments, and then I do that, and then we talk about it. So it's kind of this collaboration between us, but it's me that's making the structure and the stuff
normally
inside
she's
the computer.
doing all of the groundwork, and then I'm coming and sparkling some of the details on, like, for example, drum parts. Like I can play a little bit of drums, but as Sarina's mentioning, like I haven't mastered it at all by any means. Like I can play simple beat, but I know how things work, like on the theoretical part. So I know what has to be played on certain parts. So so now when you can program it, you can just it's very easy for me to create something that I really can't play with my body, but I can like translate it from my mind onto real sound. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, I play a little bit of guitar. I played some guitar for a long time. I'm not extremely good at it, but that's probably my best instrument. Like I can play songs. I can play the most of the riffs that are on the track, but yeah, that's probably it. And bass, normally we just tend to follow the lead guitar and the rhythm guitar and mix it well with the drums. So yeah, that's probably it. And then Sarine can play a little bit of piano as well. So she's normally using keys to sometimes do the violin stuff or the other orchestral instruments that create some atmosphere in the tracks.
Yeah, I use a lot of synthesizers and specific things for instruments for specific areas to create kind of a feeling of, I don't know, sadness, or then I would probably use some violins or some orchestration. And I have a little bit of a knowledge of a lot of instruments. So that's kind of what I use, and then I just use my ears, because if it sounds weird, I feel like, okay, something is wrong here, so let's do something or tweak it or something like that.
Well, that's really, really interesting, because it is like a new way of composing, a new way of playing music. I mean, nowadays, for example, I think that, I don't know if you agree with me, but it is really, really difficult to get together with some people that have the same ideas, try to compose some music, and then, well, okay, so, well, this is my part, this is yours, and then they leave, and then you get somebody else different. So I don't know if it is easier for you. How did you come up with this idea, for example, of gathering this project?
We started as a full normal band, actually, some years ago, and then some people went on to other stuff, and then it's kind of hard to find people in Denmark who wants to do this specific kind of thing, because it's a very small country, and like it's kind of niche here, so in that sense it was easier for us to just do it ourselves, and then we don't have to kind of ask, oh, is it okay if there's not so much guitar here? We can just say, okay, maybe this song is without electric guitars or something. We like to think out of the box, and I know a lot of metal people are like, oh my god, it's not real guitar, so it's not real metal or whatever, but I feel like, isn't it still metal? As you know, it's playable by someone other than me. It's like I can compose something like for an orchestra, but it doesn't mean that I'm amazing at playing guitar or doing it on stage. We can always ask someone to come and like play it if you want that on our live setting. So I feel like it's actually more freeing for us, because we don't have to ask, and a lot of the metal people are like, okay, if this is the genre we're making, we have to do it like this, and I really don't work like that. I'm having a hard time like being confined into that.
And we just thought about, isn't it just only a limiting factor to see us as a incomplete group just because we aren't 5 or 6 people? Like, yeah, we could do so much more that aren't limiting when it's only 2 minds that has to create something. And then I think it's been a very good idea for us to try at least. And then if it happens that we will find some like-minded people in the future, we are open to create a creative space with them and invite them into our creative space. But right now,
Yeah.
it's very good for us only be two, because our creative freedom is very important to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
Definitely.
agree. And besides, because for example, I mean, it's like a new idea. Because for example, you're telling me that okay, so you're living in a small country, and it is very difficult, for example, for you to find people that like your music, right? Yeah, it is
Yeah,
the same
well,
situation.
people that want to do the same thing, because a lot of people like it, but they're like, oh, okay, but if I want to be in a band, I'd like to stand with my guitar and being cool all the time, and it's kind of it's very limiting, I feel. So yeah,
Yes, exactly. And for example, sometimes that situation stops us, okay, from doing something else that we want to, right?
yeah,
Because it is
exactly.
like, I don't like that, I like it, and then they stop us, and then we have to find the correct people that are going to be working with us and all that. And I think that that is like hard sometimes. But for example, if you say, well, you know what, we're two people, we like the music, and then later on, if we want to play live, well, the only thing that we have to do is to find people that can play our music the way we are composing it.
We
Um,
Yeah, kind of. We had a band, and it was actually going well, but we felt maybe that we had to compromise a bit, and we were happy to do it. But if what you compromise on isn't actually what you want, at some point people are like gonna leave, because that's not really what you want inside your heart. I mean, when you're creating something, to be like, you have to be satisfied. Um, so that's where, when we're in two now, it's easier because our compromise what we want. If that makes
you
sense.
also have to feel some sort of integrity in the work that you do.
Mhm.
If you don't feel that,
Yeah.
then it's pretty pointless, because some of the like topics we discuss in some of our texts and stuff are being the best version of yourself and coping and all this. If you don't believe that in the way that the songs are, it just doesn't work, and it's totally fair to say that it isn't for them anymore, right? So it is what it is, I guess.
And for example, talking about the band, okay, so well, you were, I mean, who was singing? Okay, what were you doing? I suppose that, okay, so well, Serene was singing, and I suppose, okay, so well, you were playing the guitar. I mean, what were you doing in the band? And why did you two decide to say, you know what, we don't need the other guys. I mean, let's do it together. I mean, how come you decided to do it yourselves?
Like we are both vocalists first, right? So we're singing and has all the lyrical ideas and knows how songs together in a like, let's say, a basic structural way, right? So the other things would be being creative and doing stuff that we wanted to do. So it was actually not too hard, to be honest. But yeah, the first hard pill to swallow was that we went from being 6 to being 3, and then we went from being 3 to being 2, and it was a tough both times where we had with the people, because we've shared so much time together, and it was just hard, right? But we were like, we have so many ideas and we want to tell so many stories, and we know that what we are having here is something that can either help people or also help us coping with stuff that we can write, right? So we thought that we had something very good, and that was enough motivation for us to keep on going.
Yeah, because Anas and I have a real, I don't know, a relationship that we can trust each other. Like, I know what he stands for, and the other way around. So that sense is pretty easy. So it's kind of just making something with your best friend or something, it's really easy to say we're going to do this. I know what we have, and we know what we can do. We just don't share our dreams. That's fine, but we can do it. We don't need anyone else. So it's like if we add other people into this, it will be because we like to spend time with them and they want to contribute to this dream we have, this shared dream.
How to form CRYOSPHERE? Do you have something else, or is this the first single that you're releasing?
Oh well, yeah. We started the band. Well, I wasn't in the band first. Like when we were called CRYOSPHERE, I was in the band, but you started a little bit earlier. I think it was 2016, right?
Yeah, 17? I tried multiple times to find people because you have to be like, you have to have chemistry, and you want to do the same things. And then we had some guitar players, but we didn't have a drummer. And then we had a drummer, but not a guitar player. So it was kind of on and off for some years, actually. But I knew from the beginning that I wanted someone to scream, because at that time I did not know how to do it. And I wanted to have like this balance between my voice, which is normally very high. So it would be cool to have a male screamer. And then when I heard Anna's, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect, because I had an idea about how I wanted it to be. And the other people we tried out were like different, like growls, like very low growls, guttural growls, where you couldn't hear what they were saying. And I feel like it was too much, because we have this story we want to tell.
Yeah, and I was in another band.
Yeah, and then Anas joined us because we were looking for another screamer. We wanted a screamer in the band, and then Anas can tell his story.
The former guitarist in CRYOSPHERE was also in the band that I was playing in when we were attending high school, and he had been a friend of mine for my entire life. So he was like, I'm in this new band. I know that we're still struggling a little bit with ours, but would you mind come try this one, because we really need a screamer? And yeah, would you want to give it a go? And I was like, sure, because the thing that we had going was falling apart like slowly. So I was like, I'm up for trying something new. I'm not done with screaming and trying to create music. And then it just worked out. Like the group at the time thought that I slotted in pretty nicely, and we clicked. Like it was also easy because I already had a friend there, so I was not feeling that anxious as you probably should be when auditioning or trying out at a band and stuff like that, because I knew that the former guitarist Emil, he was already putting in good words for me, so that was really nice. That was a nice experience.
Okay, and just talking about the CRYOSPHERE, is this Odyssey the only thing that we can find, the only video that we can find, the only material that we can find from your band? Something else that we can look for?
We started putting out music in 2017 or 18. We have a couple EPs called Rebirth, and we have one called Constellations as well. You can find them on every streaming platform. Then last year we put out a single called Pray. That was also a very cool project, because that was when we were only 3 working on it, and then the guitarist left us, and Sarina and I finished it up ourselves. So that's like it's something that we mixed and tried to rewrite with our visions, and then we had some help with the producer as well. So that was pretty cool. So we have a lot of stuff. I think
it's actually the first. It's the first one that Anas is rapping on, also, true, as well as screaming, because we were trying some things to see if we could make something that made sense, and I think actually it was a really cool song.
It turned out pretty cool.
So yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. And that's the newest stuff. The older EPs that Anna's were mentioning are stuff that we have made while we were a full band. So it's still cool music, but it's more like guitar oriented, and there's a lot of solos and stuff. That's cool.
It's different for sure, but like
Yeah, it's different.
I think when listening to our old stuff and the new stuff, you can still hear what the feelings are. The stories that we want to tell are pretty much told in the same ways. Like we have our feelings like coming out of these songs, screams, and lyrics we put into the songs. So yeah, we have some.
But they're a bit more melodic actually than the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. We're going to look for that for that material because, for example, listening to the Odyssey, it was really, really good, really, really cool material. And what are the plans? What are you planning to do from now on? For example, are you planning to gather a band to play live, or what are the future plans for CRYOSPHERE?
We're kind of focusing right now on finding our own path and write material, because we have a lot of material in the backlog, but we don't really know which way we want to do this. There's a lot of different paths we could take now because we don't have the limitations of a full band, so we could go more electronic or we could go more nu metal, or so that's kind of what we're trying to figure out right now. But we're definitely working on stuff, and we will be releasing more, and in time we will also be doing live, coming back out there and showing everyone what we have been working on.
And what about Mexico? What about Latin America? What about America? Are you planning to do something? Do you want to come here to show your material? And how are you planning
definitely
to promote it from here?
We have a amazing agent that helps us. She is based in Mexico, and she's really pushing us in the Latin, and we're having really great response from you guys, because it feels like it really fits in you guys' taste, and also Northern America and England and Australia is very happy about our music. Europe is a kind of slow, so you would probably see us going on a tour somewhere there, because we'd rather go there, because we know a lot of fans in Latin America and North America, so that would be really cool.
I think that people in these countries that or areas or continents that Venus is talking about, they're more open to go out, watch something new. Like they don't plan to go see a specific band. They go out and plan to go to a venue and see what's up there, and try to take in some new stuff. Like I have a feeling that the energy in these places are more open to new stuff than it is here, because normally we in Denmark, at least, we go to shows where we know who's playing, so we won't possibly go to many concerts where we don't know anything at all. It's only maybe a small little group, and we can't really use that kind of scene to our advantage. Where in maybe Latin America or some areas like that, we could use it to our advantage instead. That would be cool.
Yeah, it's not like they don't listen to us
Yeah, it would
at
be really
all
cool to have you guys here
in Europe, but it's just you guys are more like coming somehow. It feels so. We definitely love to come there.
Of course, sir, we really want to see the CRYOSPHERE here. Really, we want to see that project here. So, well, one message that you want to give to the people here in Mexico City, or in Mexico, in the Mexican Republic, in America, so that we can go and see your project and check it out.
One message could be, don't be scared. Like, if you want to do something, just the worst thing that could happen is actually it doesn't work, but then you can do it again and again until something works. So just, that's kind of the thing with our music. We have stuff to say, but it's kind of rooted in our lives or what we see. So most people can relate to it in some way.
the worst feeling that you can ever have is wondering
Regret.
if something could happen. So the
Yeah.
regret of not doing anything is the worst feeling. So go try and do stuff, even though it's pretty outlandish, or maybe you feel like it's out of your reach or something. It's just do it. It feels like cliche to just say just do it, but it really is a great way of.
It's just getting over that hurdle, and because everybody's scared. We're scared, but just do it anyway.
No, and I really want to say that we're really happy to hear that there's something different that is being done. For example, it's not like the message that you're giving, right? I mean, for example, if you don't have a band, if you don't have this, if you don't know how to play the instrument, it's like the new way of creating something, right? And I think that is the message that CRYOSPHERE is giving us.
Yeah.
Well, so for RadioUTA.com, for Broken Neck Radio, we really want to thank you. It was really a pleasure talking to you. And we're going to be playing your music. We're going to be promoting your band here. And we're going to promote everything because it's a really good project that we really need to make people know about.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Have an excellent day.
Here.
And I don't know if it is what time it is in Denmark. It's morning here, but
it's around 6 p.m. now, so we're probably having dinner soon, and it's dark outside because we're in the north, so it's been dark for a couple hours now, so we're just gonna chill, I think.
Okay, such a pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you very much. Excellent night, and we're going to be promoting, and we're going to tag you whenever we promote your music. Okay,
Thank
it's
you.
awesome.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you
take care.
guys. Excellent night.